Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Two Eds is Better Than One. I'm Ed, he's Ed. We are Ed and we're family. This is Washington Music Center. This is the great Ed Diaz.
Hey everybody.
I'm Ed Spence. You guys all know me. And we're here today to show another episode of the Roland V Stage. The man is going to show us some new features and do some things right in front of us. And we're going to sit back and watch the maestro do his thing. It's all yours, Ed.
Hey, thank you, Ed. Today I wanted to make sure everyone knew that we had an update on the V Stage. Added some more functionality, some more features. Now, the update is called 1.10, 1.10, and what it adds is vocal effects for the mic section and also a vocoder. So where do I find this? First off, so I'll come into my laptop here and I'll just go to the Roland website. I'll go to products. I will go to pianos. And if I scroll down, I'll go to stage pianos. There's the V Stage. I can choose either the 76 or the 88. I'll choose the 76 in my example here. And if we go down into this page, we go to the downloads section. And there it is, version 1.10. All we have to do is download this to our computer, and we'll go ahead and take the update. Once you have unzipped it, you put it in a thumb drive that has been formatted by the V Stage, and we just go ahead and install it. Okay, so very easy to do. I already have the 1.10 on here. Now, if you're not sure if you have this already in your V Stage, very easy to check. I will go to the menu and I will go over here and I will go to utility. I will press the select, push enter button, go to info, push enter, and I can see what version I'm working on right now. And this one's at version 1.02, which is fine. So I'm gonna exit out of there and I'm gonna power off my V Stage, let it fully power off. Now I'm gonna take my thumb drive that has the update on it. I just put it right on top of the root directory of here, and I'll just go ahead and plug it in to here. So now all I have to do to install is press and hold the shift button, turn on the V Stage, and let it go through its processes, and it's gonna take us to the update. So it's starting to do the update for us. Now we just need to sit back for a minute and let it do its thing. Once it's done, we will power off the V Stage again, power it back on, and the update will have taken effect. Now, once again, this is gonna give us mic effects in our mic section and also a vocoder option. And once we have it updated, we'll dig a little bit further and just really explore some of the options that are available to us now.
So while we're waiting for this, I was talking to Ed, and customers love the V Stage. They like the simplicity of it. They like the fact that the sounds are great. A lot of them are familiar with Roland's category of sounds, but this is just easier for the church market, any of the live performers, that they can just go to a section, turn it on, go to a section, turn it on, go to a section, turn it on, and access it. So Roland did a really good job making that easy for people.
Oh yeah, and once again, everything is in a scene. So I can have a scene encompasses the organ section, acoustic piano, electric piano, synthesizer, and also the vocoder section. So we can have that all saved to the scene. And so the scenes can also do things like save your external keyboard information. So if I have another keyboard I'm controlling with the V Stage, I can have it send out those program changes to that. That's a little more advanced, but it's really not that hard at all. It's pretty easy. Once you do it, you will love it. So if you're using, for example, an RD2000 or a Phantom or any other make or model of keyboard, you can go ahead and tell the V Stage, have the V Stage tell that keyboard what sound to go to for you. The first time it's kind of scary, but after you do it, it's like a oh wow moment.
Back in the day, that was really big with the master controller keyboards. When MIDI was getting there and computers really weren't the scene at the time. Being able to go to your Roland 1080 and you get your sound selection, multi-timbral setups, and you would send the data to the device. And so now you can still do that for guys and people who have multiple things connected. You can let this be the master to turn everything on. And some other things we're going to show you is going to really blow you away on the extra features of this V Stage and some of the things that Roland has in store for you. So
Yep.
get your wallets ready.
Get your wallets ready. So while we're talking about that, we'll have a subsequent video where we talk more about this, but the way the V-Stage sends out this information, it has 2 MIDI out ports, so it sends out the MIDI to 2 regular standard MIDI, but also 2 device ports. So it can also receive information from MIDI keyboards or other things too. So that's something that's real cool. And of course, a MIDI in as well. If you wanted to have something else control the V-Stage, like a Phantom. In my current setup, I'll use a Phantom EX and I'll have my Phantom tell the V-Stage what scenes to go to. So I never have to touch my V-Stage if I don't want. I can have those MIDI control messages from my Phantom. So as I change scenes in my Phantom, it changes particular scenes that I've pre-programmed in my V-Stage. When you're doing a live gig or live situation or someone calls an audible, I can easily, very quickly jump around and it's seamless. Everybody's just like, wow, you're just doing a whole bunch of stuff.
So now you have a one-stop shop. You do your pre-homework, keyboard B needs to be this, keyboard C, and if you're doing different songs and different sets, alt keys and different things. Sometimes the musician, you might be the lead for one song, but you might be the alt for the second or third song, and they're switching really quickly. So, and you have multiple keyboards, you can let the V-Stage be the orchestrator of that. So when you just press to the next scene, it automatically sends the messages to the other devices.
Yes.
A few moments later.
All right, so the update is completed. So at this time, all we have to do is power off the V-Stage. Let's pull out the thumb drive and let's power back on the V-Stage. Now, once the V-Stage powers on, which I think takes, like 9 seconds? It's pretty quick.
It's really fast.
So that's something that's really wonderful.
Oh yeah, nothing.
Nothing. So I'm gonna go to menu and I'm gonna just make sure that it took. So once again, I press the menu button and I'm gonna go over to Utility, push Enter, push info, and there I can see 1.10, so I know that the update is there. Now, what does this update do for us? Well, I already have a microphone in here, and the V-Stage has already had this functionality, but we didn't have effects for the microphone before. So here's what we're gonna do. Remember what I've been saying, when you wanna dig into the different sections of the V-Stage, you can press menu and you can go through this way. But the way I love to do it, you're hungry for knowledge. So you press and hold menu and you touch that button, boom, we get right into quick, very quick. So first thing I do always when I'm adjusting this, let's go ahead and turn the mic on. We have the mic on right here. And I will go ahead, I can adjust my mic level. Most importantly, I'm gonna adjust my gain. Okay, so I'm using this AV ND96. I believe you sell it here. It's a high gain microphone. I really enjoy this. So I'm gonna adjust my gain on this mic. I know it's about 15 for my voice, so I don't get any distortion. All right, great. Also, in this, I have the option of where do I wanna send my mic, through the main output or through the sub output. So I'm gonna send it through the sub output, and I'm gonna put my mic level, I'm gonna just put it up at 127. Okay, so I have a nice healthy. So if I wanted to save those settings, because I'm gonna always use this mic, this is my keyboard, I'll press right, and it's gonna system write that. So the keyboard knows this is my settings, these are my mics. Now, if I wanted to change it, easily change it, just redo it and press system right and okay. So now those are my mic settings as long as I use this mic. And once that's completed, then I'll go ahead and we can start looking at some of the effects that are in here. All right, now that it's completed, let's go ahead and look around. Now, the way I showed you last time, we can do this and go arrow by arrow, which is fine in some cases, but sometimes I'm in a hurry. I want to jump through the different sections. So I'll press and hold shift and hit arrow, and I jump to the next page. Okay, so I'm gonna do it one more. Okay, we get now master of different multi-effects. So I'll go ahead and press the enter button, and you see all of these effects we have in here. So let's go ahead and choose just a couple for our example. I'll maybe come into here, and let's choose a delay. Now, just a standard delay, I'll select. I'm not hearing anything because I haven't turned it on yet. So if we turn it on, test. Welcome, Washington Music Center. Okay, so we can go ahead and turn it on here. Turn it off. Maybe we go in and we choose another one. something else. Maybe I don't want to do drive. That's a little bit too much. Maybe like a lo-fi kind of thing, a phonograph. We want to have that on, turn it on, and we get some of that in there. Now, what you'll notice in these effects, we have these parameters right at the front, but shift, we can jump to the next page, and we can adjust those parameters for that specific effect. Okay, so this is something good, and you see, depending on what the effect is, we get different parameters. So that's something that's real good. Now, also we get reverbs in here. Well, what kind of reverbs do we get inside the V stage with this? Push enter. We have the various halls, of course, shimmer, okay, the Integra 7 reverb, and a nonlinear reverb right here, which we can just easily just select one, and if we want it on, easily just turn it on, and now we have a nice hall, and then we can go in here and adjust the different parameters of that hall, and anything we want, we can go right into there.
1 second. So you guys are not as old as I am, so you probably won't know the SRV 2000. That was a real expensive reverb box that Roland made years ago.
Oh yeah, so it's classic.
Really expensive. So they put a lot of good stuff in here.
Yep. And so let's go ahead and turn it off. Since we're in this mic line area, I'll go ahead and scoot over to the next page, and we're still in our reverb parameters. But don't forget, I can also have a EQ just for that mic. I've learned that a lot of the vocalists, they like to have a certain EQ on their mic, and you can do that in the V stage. So just set it to your heart's content, turn it on, and you're all set to go. Here's also where we would adjust different line inputs. We don't have any line, but just showing you this is also where we go into there. And even the line has its own input. Okay, so let's go back to our main focus, which is the mic effects, which we showed over here. Now, how do we get to the vocoder section? For the regular mic section, I just turned on mic, and remember, when I wanted to go in and edit, menu, I'm hungry for knowledge, and I press that mic line edit. To go to the vocoder, let's press and hold shift, hit mic. Now we're in the vocoder section. That easy. Now, before I turn on the vocoder, there's some different vocoders models that we have available. So I'll punch them in. We have large choirs, the future lead, the ensemble, the robot, the fifth stack, VP330 for a little vintage action, of course, the saw, and some noise. So we get all that, but here's something else that we get. Let me exit this for 1 second. All I would do is turn it on, but check this out. You get something extra. No matter what vocoder model you're on, it matches up with the name, the carrier tone. Doesn't matter, but we can go and change that carrier tone. We can punch in, and now we can use any of the tones from the Zencore sound engine as the carrier. Now, when I do this does not use these synthesizer A, synthesizer B. It's its own vocoder tones. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so we're not sacrificing anything in the synth side. So this is cool. So let's go ahead and give these a couple of listens real quick. And I'll go ahead and do the future lead. And I'm not hearing it right now, so I just go in, turn it on. Mic's not working, no problem. Test. I'll turn off this. Maybe I'll go in and maybe choose like a nice ensemble. Now, one thing I would definitely want to mention, can we use the vocoder with any of the other sounds? And the answer is yes. Yes, we can. So, and let's say I use synthesizer A, and I take a look. What is on synthesizer A? We have a nice pad. Okay, great. Now I'll go into here and let's just take a look. Let me drop this so I don't hit you. So we're actually using the synthesizer side and that. And we could stack them if we wanted to. I'll go ahead and turn this off. Let's hear another one real quick. And you guys got to try this. It's a little hard because I don't want to take Ed's personal space
It's
here.
a cliff here, so knock
Yeah, I
me
don't
over.
want to knock him over. But of course, we get the,
Robot. Do-do-do-do-do. I can't play the lick 'cause of copyright. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Robot.
so we can have fun with that. Fifth stack, just kind of explore VP330. One of my favorite is the vocal saw.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Once again, I can mix that with one of the synthesizer or anything in here. I like using the synthesizer. In this example, maybe I turn on the synth again, and instead of using a pad, maybe I'll go in and use a bass, maybe a synth bass, and I'll use an MG saw bass, and maybe adjust the level. So and we can mix all of those together. So that's something cool. That is a free update from Roland. Just go to roland.com, follow the screen as we just instructed before, and take advantage of this. And once again, this all saves to a scene. And one more little bonus point. If we go to assignment, it has its own assignment. So you can have the pedals or anything assigned to here, and you can make whatever assignments you need for that. And this all saves to a scene.
Very good.
So I can have different vocoder models to the scene.
Very good.
Let's also not forget that all V-Stage owners, if you sign up for a free Roland Cloud account, you get the synth model expansions, which is the Jupiter 8, the Juno 106, the SH101, and the JX8P for free.
Well, that's pretty good.
You get that for free. That's a $600 value. Plus, you get a scene pack called Prismatic Layers, all for free. So you're gonna get a vocoder in here with the vocal effects, and you also get those synth model expansions. Each one's normally about $150 each. They're for free for all V-Stage owners, 88 and 76.
And I want to answer a question that a lot of new owners, buyers ask. When they go to buy a new keyboard, will the new keyboard have the new operating system in it? The answer is no. So when you buy the new keyboard, one of the first things you're going to do, besides just cry and be so happy that you got the new keyboard, is you will need to go and update it to the latest operating system.
Well, yes and no. Because a lot of times, we try and update them in Japan, when they're coming over. But when we have a new update, there's some already
Really?
there's the 1.02 already in the supply chain.
Okay.
But as a keyboard player, this is a technology instrument. You should always check.
Always check it.
Always check. And once again, it's very easy to check, and it's a free update. And this is cool. Once again, we just go to menu and we just go over and look at utility, and we look at info, and that lets you know where you are.
Okay.
And that's something that's good to check every now and then, because as a company, we're always trying to tighten up the instrument, adding new features with different free updates, and just give you the best product we can. So it's just a good thing to always just check.
That's good.
So the V stages that are probably on the boat now probably have the 1.10, but it's always a good thing to check, and I highly recommend that. Also, if you have any questions, you can come to Washington Music, talk to Ed and any of the other gentlemen that are inside the keyboard department, very knowledgeable, and I totally recommend that.
And remember, I'm old. I'm going back in the day. Nothing was updated, no matter when you bought it. So this is a new thing, which is very good.
Yeah.
A lot of people are not technical.
Yes.
And so I deal with a lot of questions from people that are trying to just get things done. And sometimes, like menus and going to the computer, there's still a large amount of people who just don't really know how to navigate. So just call us. We'll help you. If you bring your keyboard, you buy the keyboard from the store, you bring it in, we will walk you through it, bring your laptop. It doesn't cost anything. We love helping people, trust me.
And also, just as an extra point, if there's something that Ed or any of his crew need help with, they can always reach out to us. We are dedicated partners with Chuck Levins and Washington Music. So if Ed can't help you, this Ed can help you. So together, Ed Square, we will overcome and get you taken care of.
That's how we do it. 2 Eds are always better than one.
That's right.
So thanks a lot for hanging out for this segment, this episode. Our goal is for you to take full advantage of the features that are in the keyboard and the ones that are able to be downloaded to the keyboard, because the more you know is the more you know.
That's some G.I. Joe. Yeah, the more you know. Knowing is half the battle. All right.
Thanks, man.
Take care.